Okay, I think we are live. Let me check something here. Uh, oh. Silence. Silence. Um, I think nothing is showing in the screen. I should be capturing. Let's see this. Yeah. Yep. Let's do this a bit bigger. Let me check if everything is okay, and we shall begin the third day. Actually, the fifth day, but I didn't stream the last 2 days. I was waiting for an adapter that I needed to use the microphone along with the rest of the stuff that I have here, and I just got it today. Um, so now I can stream. Great, great. I got to fix the problem. I couldn't stream on YouTube for some reason. Good thing that now everything works all right. Okay. Well, I think everything works. Let's just get in to the stream. This is going to be a short stream, just an hour, I think, at the very most. Actually, what I want to do is to watch a couple more videos and just prepare everything to just wrap off like the planning of the game and actually start making the game. I'm kind of bored of watching tutorials. I've been watching tutorials for like 4 days now, and I have a general idea of what I want to do already. So let's just watch a couple more videos. I want to go over these magazines just because they are very cool, and I want to show them so they get. Recorded on the channel, and we shall go to the next part, I guess. So, yeah, let's just
in other ways.
play this.
However, if we continue looking down the lists, we can see plenty of other examples of the extreme importance of one-cost cards, such as in Death's Shadow decks. Renewable resource systems have been a part of trading card game design since the birth of the genre. Widely recognized as the first.
Oh, I already saw this video. Sorry, it's not very interesting.
We can see plenty of other examples of the extreme importance of one-cost cards, such as in Death's Shadow decks.
I don't remember actually what it says. I think I just erased it from my memory because it didn't. I didn't care about it. I think we are just going to go to the next video. I don't want to watch this again.
Legacy of Allure is a new card game that has recently wrapped up its initial Kickstarter. It is a really well-designed card game that I was especially impressed with. It has a robust, easy-to-learn, and strategically deep rule set, all with a very high skill cap. It has a strong commitment to card balance, and its distribution model already anticipates a way to patch strategies that end up more dominant than intended with minimal pain to the players. There are many interesting aspects of it that I could make entire videos about on their own, such as its use of a hex grid play area, as opposed to a more traditional field of play, its blend of inspirations ranging from traditional TCGs to real-time strategy and MOBA games, and how this makes the game feel both fresh and new but also accessible and intuitive, and the game's decision to make no randomness a central feature and selling point.
I find this very appealing. The little things he talked about. This is very similar to what I want to do. I want to use MOBA ideas and like RPG ideas inside of a TCG. I'm gonna pay close attention, and I hope you do too.
However, I want to feature on the one decision the game has made that is most relevant to this channel. Although Legacy of Allure is an expandable card game, it is not a trading card game. To start with, it's worth it to clarify exactly what a trading card game is. A TCG is a game with semi-random access to cards distributed primarily through booster packs that contain an assortment of cards from a given expansion at varying rarities. What this ends up meaning is that even if players open boosters from the same set, they are likely going to end up with very different card pools to build their deck around, with a little bit of overlap in the commons, and very little overlap in the very splashy rares that are likely going to be centerpieces of their deck. What this difference in access and card pool also leads to is players swapping cards back and forth to attempt to maximize what their random card pool is able to craft into a powerful, focused deck. This is the trading aspect of trading card games. While random packs of cards have existed for well over a century, the first game to be really built around this distribution model is Magic the Gathering, and there have been many, many games created under this model since then, many of which have been featured on this channel. As anyone who has played a TCG will be able to tell you, there are a few big disadvantages of the TCG model. First and foremost, the interests of the consumer seem fundamentally opposed to the interests of the publisher. The consumer wants to create a customized deck that is competitively viable and then more or less keep it as it is, with only minimal upkeep and occasional upgrades. Meanwhile, the publisher would much rather not see occasional upgrades and would much rather see constant upgrades, since the publisher is bearing the costs of constant development of new sets, creating new cards, testing those cards, and then paying for their art and printing. These are all intimidating upfront costs for the TCG model, and it's difficult to imagining a publisher shouldering these costs if the player is then able to look at this new expansion and then promptly ignore it. TCGs will generally manage this disconnect in two ways. The first method is format rotation. Well, formats for all cards can certainly be allowed to exist. The commonly supported formats for organized play and casual support are focused more on a limited card pool of sets released within a recent time frame, such as the last 2 years for Magic the Gathering standard format. Older cards are simply not legal for play in these supported formats, forcing players to update their decks on a regular basis and enforcing buy-in for new sets.
That is bullshit. Just wanna let that out. The idea of having legacy and having cards that are supposed to play with each other and you are not allowed to use them outside, like, that's so weird. That's so dumb. I don't like it at all.
Forcing players to update their decks on a regular basis and enforcing buy-in for new sets. The other option that games can pursue is power creep. By steadily escalating the average power level of cards, older cards will be left behind by new releases, forcing players to buy into new cards in order to remain competitive. Magic the Gathering has traditionally focused on format rotations, while Yu-Gi-Oh! Is the poster child for power creep, but often games will end up employing some mixture of both. In either case, as the publisher attempts to cover their costs by ensuring players acquire constant buy-in, the end result for players is a dramatically expensive game, as they are being forced to continually reinvest in order to remain competitive. The booster pack distribution method also adds another complication. Sets need to be a certain minimum size in order to preserve ratios of commons to rares. This sets a hard floor on the amount of resources that are going to be spent on creating new cards, testing them, and then paying for art in any given expansion. These upfront costs are going to be intimidating for any game, but with the minimum set sizes of TCGs, these are especially expensive. The higher the upfront costs in a game, the more sales are going to be needed in order to sustain a game's release, making TCGs somewhat complicated to sustain. This has a knock-on effect on the release schedule of trading card games. While TCGs theoretically have plenty of freedom in how frequently they release new cards, realistically all TCGs are going to fall into a similar range of 4, 5, or 6 mainline releases a year. In order to keep the game fresh and exciting and to constantly shake up stale formats, TCGs release on a fairly rapid schedule. They need to do this in order to drive player interest and investment in the game, and to keep them buying new product regularly to support the high upfront costs of the game. Most TCGs, therefore...
I don't know if he's going to mention this in the rest of the video, but there is also a third way, very common in Yu-Gi-Oh! That is getting like a new mechanic. You have a new mechanic. I don't know if he said it, I didn't pay attention, but you can just make a new mechanic like Pendulum or whatever, and people are going to flock to the new mechanic because it's stronger. Like the original cards are equally strong, like in the first season or the 20th season, but the new mechanics makes you like go and keep buying new booster packs. Also, you have new series, and people like the new series and say, oh, well, I want to have like the deck of this new protagonist, and they go and buy that card. You know.
Adopt a standard of 4 to 6 sets per year, or similar, as the optimal balance between maintaining player interest and investment without overloading player wallets or attention spans. Some games will release more than that, but they're often structured in such a way that players can ignore some number of releases. This is ultimately an unexpectedly rigid design constraint on what otherwise appears to be a very wide-open game genre. TCGs are also incredibly tricky to balance. The regular release schedule, combined with the massive pre-existing card pool and the huge amount of deck customization options that it provides players, means that testing of new designs is only going to go so far for each new release. Indeed, in a large game like Magic the Gathering, players will collectively get more time playing with the cards of a new release in the first day of the release than the testing team did during the entire design process. This is coupled with the need to make high-rarity cards actually feel rare, which can range from being unique to being highly playable and functional to being just outright powerful. Generally, safe, conservative designs of an average power level are going to be reserved for commons. This leads to a strong pressure to push the envelope on card designs to create cards that are powerful and exciting, but not overpowered or format warping or game breaking. It is a very fine line, and one of the most important skills of a designer is being able to create cards that walk this line, but given the pace of the design schedule and the pressures on card power put in place by the rarity system, it is practically an inevitability that some cards are going to find their way through at a much higher power level than was intended. In addition to being able to provide better balance and less costs, both to the publisher and the player, moving away from TCG distribution can give games more design freedom. Creating an expanding game that can fit into booster pack distribution can be an unexpectedly powerful design restraint. In fact, one of the main reasons that essential elements of TCG design are essential is that the amount of designs TCGs are required to produce. A game that is able to release new cards in lower numbers or on a more relaxed schedule can potentially allow for a functional, expanding game that can ignore one of the essential elements, or is able to reconfigure these elements into something that would otherwise struggle under a trading card game model. As an expanding card game that seems very strongly aware of these flaws, Legacy's Allure dodges most of these pitfalls. Using a non-random distribution of cards, they significantly reduce the amount of money players are required to invest in the game, but they also reduce the number of cards the game's creators need to produce for each new release. While the game's initial release is roughly 150 cards, which is roughly on par with a mid-sized trading card game set, their model leaves them with a lot more freedom to release either less frequently or to release smaller expansions down the road as needed. Because they don't need to provide high rarity cards, and hence they don't need to justify that rarity with pushing power levels or overly unique effects, they're much more free to focus on individual card balance and ensuring that the cards are roughly at the same power level as each other card in the game. It's worth noting that there's no real single element of the game that would prevent Legacy's Allure from being published as a trading card game. It's just that to do so would likely result in several design compromises that would ultimately drag down the game's design and the overall game experience it is trying to provide. The main disadvantages of the trading card game model is its upfront costs to publish, the ongoing and significant costs to players, and the design limitations and power balance concerns these costs impose on games using this distribution model. So on the flip side of all of that, what are some of the advantages of the trading card game model? After all, I wouldn't have an entire channel devoted to the genre if I didn't think there were some pretty strong pluses to balance the scales of these very significant negative investments in individual cards. Card pools give expressive players tons of ways to express themselves through their card choices, and more competitive players are able to have tons of options to tinker with as they try to maximize the power and performance of their deck. While this is definitely a key feature of trading card games, other games can also offer similar large pools of game pieces and a high degree of customization. This is not only the case with Legacy's Allure, but also prominently in ECGs like Netrunner that have a non-random distribution. What separates trading card games from these games is the sense of ownership that players feel toward these customization decisions. Players in TCGs will only ever have a partial card pool to choose from, barring spending ludicrous amounts of money to collect playsets of all cards. Moving from random boosters to a finished deck requires a significant investment of time, effort, and yes, money. While this can be cynically dismissed as a sunk cost fallacy and simply another tool trading card games have to force players to spend money, I think that this sense of ownership players have in their decks and collections is also an extremely important part in building player investment in the game, and not just at a financial level, but also at an emotional level as well. And although the trading card game can feel like a somewhat manipulative way of doing it, an emotional connection to the game you're playing is extremely important to the overall game experience. But the financial side of this is also a pretty obvious part of that, so let's just touch on that briefly as well. While the added financial cost of a TCG relative to other game genres is obviously great for the publishers who are collecting money from it, it's significantly less good for the players. However, the constant investment required
The dude is like 12 minutes into the video and didn't address like a single minute of the supposed featuring the Legacy's Allure.
of players in trading card games means that it is in the interest of game stores to provide ongoing support for the game, specifically in the form of play space. While other game genres will typically require only a single upfront investment to play, trading card game players regularly spend money where players are able to enjoy playing a wide range of different games such as board games and spades, in my experience, no other genre of game has been quite able to fire at the same level of store-supported tournaments and dedicated game nights on the level of a trading card game. One final advantage of the trading card game model with its large card pools, regular release
Oh my
and
god,
limited
dude, come
trading card
on.
games
Just talk about the game.
being considered during the initial creation of the game. The game doesn't slow down its development just because the gameplay environment is in a good place. This can lead to formats with unbalanced decks and miserable gameplay experiences, but they can also lead to an even better refinement of the initial game concept as releases are created. I mentioned that players in aggregate will put in more playtime in a single day than designers can during the entire design process, but while this can make game balance difficult, it can also be quite a good thing. Watching the players play with the game after release can let designers observe what is working well in the game environment and what isn't, what aspects of the game players are really enjoying and making the most of, and what aspects of the game are generally disliked or ignored. Each new release gives the designers a chance to iterate on the initial game, and TCGs have a lot of releases. There is a lot of interest in the trading card game genre right now, but there are some important advantages to be gained in abandoning that distribution model, while still embracing the variety and depth of gameplay the genre promises.
There we
Legacy of
go.
Lore enjoys several benefits common to card games. It is a physical, non-virtual game that is highly portable, easy to set up and put away afterwards, and features a wide range of unique game features. Each non-virtual game that is highly portable, easy to
Oh no. It has dices. God dude.
set up and put away afterwards, and features a wide range of unique game pieces, each with their own unique art and identity. However, Legacy of the Lore is also a game with a very strong sense of direction. It knows the gameplay experience it wants to create, and it knows that the TCG model ultimately is going to cause more problems than benefits to the game in delivering that experience. While they're trying to create a card game with a large number of different game pieces and possible strategies, they also want the game to be highly competitive and strategically deep, and in a game with no randomness, this demands exceptional attention to balance. They also are trying to avoid the high financial costs the TCGs impose on their players. TCGs offer a huge amount of freedom in the kinds of games you can create, but they also have their limitations. While I love TCGs, there are plenty of game designers out there that also love TCGs that are designing games that are not TCGs. In games like Legacy of the Lure, or deck building games like Dominion, or drafting games like Sushi Go, these designers are taking aspects of trading card games that they enjoy and creating a strong game that captures the gameplay experience outside the design and distribution landscape of the TCG model. When you're designing your own game, even if trading card games are your
That's it. That's it. The dude said like two things. Okay. Okay. Literally the end of the video. He didn't mention a single mechanic. Oh my god. No, sorry. Jesus. Like I like all these series. These 5 videos were very useful. But Jesus, 15 minutes lost. Great. Next one.
Magic the Gathering has been around for a while, and several of its mechanics come across as noticeably flawed when viewed in a modern TCG design lens. The example that most likely comes to mind first is the land system. Both drawing too many lands and drawing too few lands will inevitably cost players games in a way that they have very little control over. Even decks with perfect mana ratios can still get screwed or flooded. However, Wizards has had plenty of time to correct
Okay. Stalls in Magic the Gathering.
this flaw, such as by designing lands that can double as creatures or spells, or by adjusting mulligan rules, or just by adding more consistency boosting effects like Scry. And while Wizards has made some adjustments over time, they've been relatively minor. When it comes to the possibility of getting screwed or flooded, they appear to be largely okay with the current status quo. One of the first videos I put on this channel was about the benefits that randomness can bring to games, and Wizards seems to be of the opinion that lands are adding a desirable level of randomness to Magic. So while I do believe that lands are definitely a flawed mechanic, it's not the most problematic mechanic in the game. That dubious honor belongs to Magic's combat system. It's a bit harder to spot the flaws in the combat system because its flavor is so resonant and logical. You're sending your creatures to attack the opponent, and the opponent must then decide how to send their own forces to intercept them. Creatures that are off attacking or focused on something else aren't close enough to you to defend you when the opponent inevitably gets their turn to deploy their own attackers. Flavorfully, this makes a lot of sense. However, mechanically, the end result of this system is a dangerously stagnant play pattern. If each player plays out lands turn after turn naturally, then each player will have a steadily increasing pool of resources to play bigger and more impactful spells. This is good, as it creates escalation in the game as it progresses from the first move through to the conclusion. However, if you take this similar play pattern and take it over to the combat system, playing out a 1-cost creature on turn 1, a 2-cost creature on turn 2, a 3-cost creature on turn 3, and so on, then the end result that you're going to be faced with is that absolutely nothing happens. Because the defending player is able to choose where to allocate their defenses and is able to deploy multiple creatures to team up on a single attacker by double blocking, you will always have the most favorable matchups against any opposing attackers. And the fact that creatures that have tapped to attack are removed from the pool of available defenders means that players are disincentivized from committing creatures to an attack in the first place. If both players play out similar creatures and spells at a similar rate, the end result is a stalemate, with neither player attacking and neither player getting any closer to winning. The only real breaker Magic has to make sure that the game actually ends in the event of a stall is the deck out rule. Eventually one player is going to lose when they run out of cards to draw.
This is not true. I don't think this is true. Uh, Oh Jesus, another bot telling me to buy bots. Um, this is just not true. I know that Magic disincentivizes like attack, but because attacking is like a very good way to just drain your opponent. I don't know what's the point he's trying to come across here. To
Given
get
that you have to
across.
pick for 60 cards and players are only drawing one card per turn, this can take a very long time. More realistically, players are usually going to end games by leaning on an alternative game system to overtake the opponent, most often by building up an advantage in card economy and then leveraging that advantage to close out the game. Unlike lands, which are viewed as a feature and not a bug of the game design, Magic designers have been fighting against their stagnant combat system since the very first set of the game. Even in Alpha, keyword abilities like flying, protection, land walk, and even banding all exist as ways to allow the player to attack more easily by minimizing how the opponent is able to use their creatures to interfere with the attack. Combat tricks like Giant Growth and instant speed removal like Terror also negate some of the advantages the defender has, mostly in the field of double blocking. If the opponent goes to double block and you have one of these abilities, you can open up the blocker to getting two of the cards destroyed at the cost of a single low-cost trick from the attacker. Powerful, efficient removal like Terror also helps in another way by allowing players to trade card advantage into board advantage more easily. It's much easier to set up an attack by weakening the opponent's board than it is to set up an attack by strengthening your own board. Even up to the present day, the selection of card effects included in each and every set of the game continue to fight against the natural play pattern of the combat system. All of this isn't to say that Magic the Gathering is a complete disaster of a game. Indeed, by this point, Magic has more or less learned how to live with this combat system, and it uses card abilities like evasion, instant speed interaction, and card advantage in order to break out the stalls that tend to pop up in the game. That being said, Magic is definitely not the only combat system out there, and there are many games that have paid attention to the flaws in Magic's combat system and have made alternative combat systems which largely look to avoid. Magic the Gathering's combat system has a problem with stalls, and while card effects and overall game balancing can largely mitigate this problem, it's obviously great if you can design a system that doesn't have.
Okay, we're gonna see the Pokemon one, the Yu-Gi-Oh one, and the Dual Monster. Let's see Pokemon, because I don't remember how it's played. I wanna know how
Has each player field
I wanna know how the attack system works in Pokemon. And I never in my entire life heard of Duel Master. I know it exists, but I never like even seen the cards. So let's let's see.
one active Pokemon that can attack once at the end of each of their turns. Each attack has its own damage value, and each Pokemon has HP that indicates how much damage it will take to defeat it. This system does a few things well. For one, there is no disincentive to attacking. Each player is going to be attacking as often as possible until the game is over. The system doesn't really have a structural problem generating board stalls. The system is also fairly simple and easy to understand. With only one active Pokemon on each side of the board at any given time, it's fairly easy to keep track of the board state. It's also fairly easy to teach to new players, and it does a really good job capturing the dynamics and flavor of the Pokemon video games. One flaw that the system does have, though, is that because the exchange of damage is so structured, if one player takes a strong lead, it can be very difficult to catch back up. In Magic the Gathering, it's very possible to stabilize at one life while your opponent still has 20, and still manage to turn the game around and win. This is much more difficult to do in a more regulated combat system like Pokemon. Overall, though, I think that Pokemon's combat system is very good. It keeps gameplay progressing at a steady pace, and is just a huge flavor win for the game. For Yu-Gi-Oh!, in some ways, its system is even simpler than Pokemon's. Each monster can attack once per turn, they choose their attack target, and then the biggest number wins. If your opponent has no monsters on their field, then you can attack them directly. The biggest divergence from Magic is that in Magic, the defender chooses your attack target, while in
The Pokemon one doesn't serve me well. It's not what I need. Yu-Gi-Oh! I played all my life, so it's not needed.
Next up is Duel Masters, and it's particularly interesting because it's heavily based on Magic the Gathering, just with the benefit of years of experience seeing what has and hasn't worked in Magic's game systems, and potentially what has and hasn't worked in some of Magic's competitors. The game makes several changes to Magic's combat system, and most of these changes are worth entire videos on their own. But the biggest and most impactful difference is that creatures in Duel Masters are unable to block opposing attacks at all without a specific keyword. Moving blocking from a game mechanic to a keyword mechanic available only on a
Oh my god. Certain creatures can block. That doesn't make sense at all.
very limited subset of creatures is a very blunt solution to make sure that the board doesn't stall, but it does work. Combat in Duel Masters is quick and impactful, but it still presents plenty of strategic choices and different paths to victory.
Uh, I don't like this system. Let's see what else we have
All
here.
of these games mentioned so far have two factors that are helping them avoid stalls. Their base rules are not punishing players for attacking, and they're minimizing how much equal boards are going to lead to a state where neither player is able to take any action to move the game forward. There is one final tool that games can use to avoid stalls that I do want to touch on briefly, and that is natural pressure. This can be seen in games like Vanguard and Lacrosse. Although the mechanics differ, both the Vanguard and the Larig are attackers that cannot be removed. They are guaranteed to attack each turn of the game. This creates an embedded source of pressure within the rules of the game itself that players must actively manage over gameplay. In situations where a player's resources are largely depleted and they're not able to take any meaningful game actions, this pressure is going to end the game on its own. For Magic players, trying to understand the impact this has is likely best understood by imagining that each game begins with a sulfuric vortex in play. Well, any Magic players that have played against sulfuric vortex,
Huh.
especially a control deck, they may imagine that control can't possibly exist as a strategy in these games, but control is still absolutely a part of the meta of these games and quite an important part. The difference is, in control matchups, natural pressure is the difference between getting locked out and moving quickly, or getting locked out and then waiting turn after turn for the opponent to finally draw a win con.
This one makes a little bit more sense to me. For example, one of the things that I want to implement is to have like a limited number of turns that you have inside each duel, right? So that people kind of haste to play the game. I don't want the game to drag along. Like I want the game to last 20 minutes at the very least, right? So I like this. Something like this is most probably what I'm going to do. You shouldn't lose life though.
Magic players will no doubt also be familiar with situations where the control player holds an impenetrable wall of removal and counter magic, but the game keeps going for dozens of turns while both players wait for the control player to actually win. Experienced players are going to know well enough to concede in these situations, but for newer players who don't have that same game awareness, this is an utterly miserable way to lose, and it's one that games can avoid fairly easily when they're creating their base rules. Having played games with and without natural pressure, it's not a necessary element to include in a game, but it can go a long way towards regulating the pace of the game and help set a solid tempo of play that will avoid stalls as much as possible. Designing the base rules of a trading card game is a bit like putting a satellite into orbit. You can have a bunch of thrusters maneuvered around in different directions, but ultimately you are still going to need to know which way gravity is pulling you. Problems in a game's core rules don't necessarily translate into a flaw in the game. Magic is still a good game overall, and stalls are generally an infrequent problem in most formats. However, core rules are exerting a gravitational pull towards a certain play pattern, and if that play pattern is undesirable, like stalls in Magic the Gathering, the game is going to need to actively move against it with their card effects and overall game balancing. It's worth noting that in the case of Magic, Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon, these flaws in their combat systems are reinforced by other game systems that are pulling gameplay in a similar direction. Magic has a very slow card economy, making it more difficult for players to proactively pull away from stall situations. Pokemon's prized life system and its resource system that discards the energy off of defeated Pokemon further reinforces the advantage of the leading player. And Yu-Gi-Oh's once per turn normal summon limit makes it even more difficult to establish and maintain board presence. These games are still functioning just fine despite this, but all of these flaws have been actively addressed over the life of the game with the careful selection and balance of card effects and general game balancing.
With a careful
But all of these flaws have been actively addressed over the life of the game with the careful selection and balance of card effects and general game.
with a careful selection of card effects. Special summon. Okay, great. Yeah, maybe something like natural pressure is what I tend to agree with. I'm most probably going to do something like that.
Magic the Gathering is widely seen as the first
To stop stalls, right? Because this was the main problem here is to have a stall. Like people try to not attack, to not have, to not make risks, right? That's the problem, I think.
trading card game. Given its age, some of its mechanics and rules are beginning to look
Magic the Gathering Secret Advantage multiplayer. Okay.
a little long in the tooth. Its combat system is a bit slow and overly prone to stalls, its card economy is comparatively stingy, and its resource system can be frustratingly random. Yet, Magic continues to outsell its newer and often sleeker trading card game competition. There's a couple of different reasons for this, ranging from its large enfranchised player base to its traditional fantasy aesthetic, but one aspect I feel doesn't get enough recognition for Magic the Gathering's ongoing success is something that is so obvious it's easy to miss. Magic the Gathering is a trading card game that supports multiplayer. The Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime especially really reinforced the idea that trading card games were an intense, strategic 1v1 battle between two players. Trading card game tournament structure would largely reinforce this. From the local game shop level right up to the World Championships, 1v1 is the main format of gameplay. And as those fans of Yu-Gi-Oh! And competitive players of other games went on to craft TCGs of their own, their core focus was on improving on MTG's rather notable flaws in the 1v1 experience. And to be fair, a lot of these games did succeed in that. But in doing so, they've largely forgotten that sometimes people hang out in groups of more than two people. There's nothing stopping a larger group from playing a bunch of separate 1v1 games, of course, and this works out just fine in more formalized competitive settings, like tournament nights at your local game store, or even smaller tournaments like a draft among friends to celebrate a new set's release. But in gatherings of 4, 5, or 6 people, oftentimes you're not going to be looking to immediately silo everyone off into separate corners to play a bunch of 1v1 games. Sometimes players just want to play a casual game while socializing. And in this very common scenario, there's not a whole lot of trading card games to choose from. Magic the Gathering has often mentioned the majority of their sales do not come from the players that invest heavily in organized play. Although they will certainly spend more on an individual level, in terms of the raw numbers, they are outweighed by the kitchen table, or more casual players, who play almost exclusively in more casual settings. And in these casual settings, being able to get everyone present in on the same game is a huge advantage. One additional advantage of multiplayer gameplay, beyond just getting everyone in the same room into the same game, is that it also acts as a skill leveler. In 1v1 1v1, the difference between a tuned, tournament-ready competitive deck and a more casual deck is often insurmountable. But even the very best decks are going to struggle facing 2 or more opposing decks at the same time. So if one player in multiplayer takes too obvious a lead, other players are then able to target them and knock them back into roughly the same level of development as the rest of the table. This is really good since it lets less invested players still play the same game as players that have dropped hundreds of dollars and hours of study time on their deck. In 1v1 settings, these less invested players would most likely just lose constantly until they either decide to... The Gathering is how easily it integrates its multiplayer support.
Okay, so the idea that more than 2 players can play at the same time is like the secret sauce of Magic the Gathering, according to this guy. Maybe. I remember having pretty good times playing with many friends, like in college. Maybe, I guess. The game that I have in my head is not really like compatible with multiplayer, so that will be pretty complex to implement, I guess. But I give it a go, maybe.
Building a TCG is a complicated process with many
Now we talking. Concepting a new game.
steps forward and often just as many steps back. Looking back at the various games I've made over the years, none of them were made after I started this YouTube channel. Even the game featured in the concluding video of the Essential Elements series was made several years back. This raised the question, are the essential elements something that I had only noticed as a player, or are they actually useful for the process of designing a game? Because designing games is fun, having something new to play is fun, and getting an excuse to dive into Pixiv for art is fun, I tried my hand at designing a new TCG, bringing it to a point where it would be ready for wider testing. Deciding to make a game is kind of a terrible place to start, though. Games don't just appear to me either, they have to be about something. This can be a mechanical idea, a flavor idea, or ideally some combination of both. In this case, I was inspired by the HoloLive Bad End short animation by Mazu Marg, by Fate Stay Night, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and other anime, and just urban horror and urban fantasy more generally. In the world of this game, while people go about normal, modern lives in a technologically advanced city, an elaborate fantasy world is lying just beneath the surface. A live streamer may be possessed by an ancient deity, and is just one bad day away from unleashing an apocalypse. The office tower down the street might be a tech bro cult delving into the secrets of immortality by studying eldritch beings, while positioning their company in secret to be number 1 in the post-death world. And the quiet library just off the local university campus might be a gathering place for truths far beyond human comprehension. Magic the Gathering and other games have explored somewhat similar game space, principally in their double-faced cards. But for this game, I wanted something a little bit more free and open, and I quickly settled on there being 2 main card types. Front cards would represent fairly ordinary, everyday characters. Priests, scientists, lawyers, and occasionally robots and other light sci-fi, but nothing too fantastical. Reverse cards, on the other hand, would be quite the opposite. Otherworldly demons, fae, and eldritch abominations. All of these supernatural beings would be aspects of a single eldritch lord, an ancient god your deck would be working to unleash. Although these lords could not die in a traditional sense, they could be sealed away, and your goal was to seal away the power of the opponent's eldritch lord before the opponent could seal yours. Seals could be represented by another card type, which could also potentially double as the game's resource engine. Most of this all came together over the course of an hour-long walk, with the last couple details fleshed out as I recorded all of these ideas into a text document. This created the basic skeleton for the game. There were front cards, reverse cards, and seals. Reverses could be placed beneath fronts, and they were only revealed by the opponent forcing them into the open with a seal. Reverses could attack, and battles between reverses would come down to simple power numbers, but fronts, as ordinary people, would be utterly defenseless against opposing resources, unless of course they were possessed by a reverse of their own. The basic flow of gameplay would involve players using their front to build resources in the early game, while playing a seal per turn to try and eventually reveal the location of the opponent's eldritch lord, who would be hiding under a front, just like all the other reverse cards. As they built their board, they would also be simultaneously weakening their opponent's eldritch lord so that it could be eventually defeated by a regular attack. To force the lord onto the field, each seal would also reduce the opponent's hand size by 1, until eventually both players ended up with a hand size of 0. Since the lords would start in players' hands, they would eventually need to be played out somewhere onto the field in order to avoid being discarded and the player just losing that way. So with all of this coming together, I now had a life system, a resource system, a combat system, effect interaction, and a card economy. All I needed to finish was a faction system, and I was good to start making cards and testing the game. Designing the faction system was definitely one of the more fun parts of the process, since I was able to really delve into the flavor of the game world I was creating. I ended up with 4 colors, divided into 2 defensive colors and 2 offensive colors, as well as 2 colors that were focused on board advantage, and 2 that were more focused on card and resource advantage. It would be an interesting video down the road, but I do like how 4 color systems are easily able to divide into a 2x2 grid like this. It makes visualizing their core gameplay philosophy really, really easy and straightforward. Alongside the mechanical identities, on another hour-long walk, I came up with the philosophical identities for each of these factions as well, detailing how they would interact with the eldritch beings that were manifesting out in the world.
We understand our world through data. From the abacus to the microchip, the data we can access creates the limits of our understanding. The beings will shatter the barriers of knowledge, and through them we will know the universe.
Prosperity is limited by debt, not just of the individual, but also the ecosystem and ultimately of the universe itself. The beings are the key
Warning, high grade tunic green, skip this session. I'm kind of in a hurry, my man, so I'm gonna skip, okay? Good.
With a solid flavor idea and all of the mechanical game systems ready to go, I designed
Okay, great. Yeah. That's basically like the main things that I'm going to be thinking about. Uh, all these 6 things that I have annotated. Um, yep. So how long have I been streaming right now? 35 minutes. Okay. In 20 minutes, I'll end the stream.
solid flavor idea and all of the mechanical game systems ready to go, I designed just enough cards to build a pair of test decks. A blue-white defensive deck and a black-red ramp deck that was a little more aggressive. Although there were a few of the game systems I still wasn't 100% sold on, the game was in a spot where it was ready to test. Oftentimes, testing is going to surprise you. The system you thought was rock solid may not actually play out all that well, or it might require a lot of design compromises that may not ultimately be worth it. Alternately, sometimes the system you were on the fence on turns out to work so well you start designing all of your other systems around it. Before you throw away too many of your ideas, it's usually good to start just to see how each of these ideas are actually going to play out.
This is something that I'm going to have to implement. Just have a rough idea of the game and play it out a little bit, like doing a testing, um, and see how it works, how the rules work, like as an overview. Um, Anything
Spoiler alert,
else?
this game ended up going through a ton of revisions, and very few of the rules from the initial text document ended up making its way all the way through to the current version. Each rule change, however, does give interesting insight into the forces that can affect the design of the game, and we'll go over those in future videos.
Yeah, okay. Basically, you iterate between rules until you have something that actually kind of works. Good.
When you're designing a game, sometimes flaws in the core rules will just sneak up on you, and it can take a lot of playtesting to figure out that something's wrong. Other times, though, the problems are so big and obvious, you're going to wonder how on earth you could have possibly missed them before they smack you upside the head during early playtests. Even before the first test game, I suspected I was making seals do a bit too much in this game. They were reducing hand size, reducing the defenses of the opponent's floor, they were revealing opposing reverses, and they were also, to top it all off, integrated into the resource system. The first test game confirmed that this was basically even worse than I'd been expecting. Reverses couldn't be played on their own, and fronts without reverses were incredibly vulnerable to attack, so you needed to draw a balance of fronts and reverses, while also drawing enough seals to reliably keep pace with the opponent, both reducing their power and pushing you closer to victory, and also building your own resources so your game engine could function properly. Although this hadn't been the intention, I basically ended up creating Magic's land problem, except somehow even worse. Spelling this out here might make it seem painfully obvious, but seals were never intended to be a riff on the land mechanic. They were actually intended to be more of a riff on climaxes from Wise Schwartz. Each player would have exactly
Okay, these are the logs of Sisheim. Like he's telling his idea. This this is the videos that I'm going to be doing. Uh, um, Maybe tomorrow we are gonna see these ones. Right now, I just want more ideas of what should I be thinking about to design the game. Playtest is not really necessary. Final destruction review. This is a log. Core drop broken. Zero ghost. Um, I won't be having colors, so I don't really care. Colors is to have like different, would you say, like factions, and those factions have a resource that is attached to that faction, right? So in Magic you have red, and red usually is used to play cards that have very similar effects, right? So red cards usually do damage either to players or to creatures. So you have a resource that is closely attached to a certain kind of effect. So I won't be having that. I much rather prefer the Shuyo archetype system, that certain cards are made to be working with each other, um, and you have like a common resource. Actually, Shuyo doesn't have resource. It's a totally free game. You can play all the cards that you want with very few limitations. That's the main problem of Yu-Gi-Oh! Actually. But I'm gonna try and make that idea work. Baseline cards, what is this?
How much mana does it cost to draw 2 cards in Magic the Gathering, or in your TCG of choice? What are you able to destroy with 1 cost removal? And what power level is average at each cost up the mana curve in that game? In all games, these are abstract questions that can change a lot as certain aspects are powered crept and certain aspects are dialed down. Sometimes you can get 2 cards for 2 mana, and sometimes you're perfectly fine paying 4. However, as soon as I said draw 2 cards, a lot of Magic players probably thought about 1 card and 1 cost specifically. Divination is a 3-cost sorcery with a simple effect of draw 2 cards, and it's been reprinted many times. Shock provides a solid baseline for what you can expect from 1 mana red removal, so much so that a 1 mana spell that deals 2 damage is often simply shorthand called a shock. Likewise, a 2 mana 2/2 is often called a bear, named after the card Grizzly Bears. Grizzly Bears has no abilities, but it gives you a solid baseline for what stats to expect for its mana cost. If you want to know what power you can expect at each cost or level, generally most games will have a few different basic creatures with very few or no abilities at all show up in each set. So even if cards with more powerful abilities are available, you at least have a baseline to compare those cards against. There's plenty of these baseline cards out there.
Oh, okay. A baseline is a creature that defines the power associated with a cost. Okay, like a unit of cost. A unit of cost gives you a unit of power, basically, and the equivalence between power and cost is the baseline. Good, great, good idea. I should have a baseline for most effects. Baseline cards. Good. Let's keep going. Deck size. Not to be confused with
What's your flavor theme? How does player interaction work? What does the card economy look like? What are the card types? And what does the field of play look like? One question that can get lost in the shuffle a little bit is how many cards should players need to include in their decks? Speaking personally, I tend to leave this to the end of the design process and not put a ton of thought into it. However, deck size does have a ton of impact on how a game plays out, so it's definitely worth putting more thought into a little earlier into the design process than I personally usually do. To start with, let's just cover a few of the standard ranges you'll find. Magic and Pokemon have a deck size of 60, which includes resource cards. Duel Masters uses a 40-card deck with no resource cards. Yu-Gi-Oh! And Lacrosse have a deck size of 40 cards with no resource cards, but they also have a 10 to 15 card extra deck of cards that are set aside from the main deck and aren't shuffled. Wyatt Schwartz has a 50-card deck without a leader card, and One Piece has a 50-card deck with a leader card. In most games, this deck size is going to range from 40 to 60 cards. Less than 40 and you're going to start limiting the variety within each deck. Meanwhile, once you get to more than 60, you're going to start running into issues with shuffling, especially once you start adding in card sleeves. It's worth remembering that the standard poker deck is 52 cards. There's something about the 40 to 60 range that seems to be a sweet spot between randomness and consistency. If you're designing a game for players with smaller hands, like children, you may want your deck size to fall closer to 40 cards. If you need to include a bunch of resource cards into the deck, it might be better to aim for a total that is closer to 60 cards. Either way, you don't want your games to all play out the same, but you do want to be able to somewhat predict and plot out your attack and counterattacks based on what is still available in your deck and what you expect to draw from that deck and what you can expect to find in the opponent's deck. You're designing a game for...
I think I'm just going to go with a typical 40 card deck. That makes the most sense to me. Because I'm going to have 2 decks, a normal deck or a main deck, I would say, an extra deck, and then you will have like a regulars card, like card that are baselines that don't have any effect and are kind of weak, but they are always like available for you to purchase, right? So a 40 deck card for like your main, it's probably best. And the extra deck, you should be able to put anything that you possibly want, because to play things from the extra deck, you are going to need cards in the main deck. So I don't think I have really a problem with this. You could have as many extra deck cards as you possibly want, as you possibly need. Duel Monsters and Magic.
was released in 1993, and in barely more than 3 years, the Pokemon...
I'm gonna put in paper that I just said. 40 cards deck, main deck, main deck. Yeah.
Pokemon trading card game arrived and massively shook up the fledgling TCG scene. Pokemon was kid-friendly and had distinctly Japanese aesthetics, and it sold like hotcakes. Yu-Gi-Oh!, which came another 3 years later, proved that this was no fluke. Duel Masters, then, was Wizards' attempt to get in on this kid-friendly and anime-adjacent aesthetic. But since it was released only a decade after Magic the Gathering, it was also an opportunity to smooth over a few of the features of Magic's rules that either proved confusing or outright frustrating. Despite Duel Masters changing almost every system in the game relative to Magic, it is still very obviously a game created as an evolution of Magic the Gathering. Many of Magic's designers have been a part of Duel Masters' design teams at some point, and many of Duel Masters' designers started their trading card game careers playing Magic. These two games are perhaps uniquely closely related, which makes it especially worthwhile to take a deep dive to analyze what they're doing differently. Let's start with the obvious one and get it out of the way first. Magic's resource system uses specific land cards that are shuffled in as part of your main deck, while Duel Masters doesn't have any specific resource cards. Instead, players, once per turn, are able to use any card in their hand to functionally act very similarly to a land. The most common complaint of any frustrated Magic player relates to not being able to make meaningful plays due to having too many or too few lands. Duel Masters completely eliminates this risk with its resource system. Unlike a lot of the differences between these two games, where I think there are reasonable arguments for either side, Duel Masters' resource system is pretty clearly an upgrade over Magic. Some Magic designers have said in the past that the land system does act as a crucial point of randomness in the game, and that Duel Masters is just a little too consistent, and it lacks drama without that random element. But I do strongly disagree with that take. There are a ton of ways to add randomness to a game, and I think that adding it into the resources is one of the worst choices possible. Duel Masters does add some randomness back in with its life system, and I think that overall it's a much better home for it. In this way, it's able to better line up the randomness to benefit a player that is falling behind, which helps create a more distinct back and forth tempo to the gameplay, rather than just punishing players at random like Magic's land system. I will admit that land cards are aesthetically beautiful at least, and they do help contribute to the flavor and sense of play in Magic's world building. Past that major difference, the resource systems are otherwise very similar. Resources are tapped to pay costs, and then players untap their resources at the start of each of their turns. The only other difference is a minor change in how costs are formatted. Magic spells out costs a little more specifically, while Duel Masters have only a number and colors. Magic's are a little bit more versatile, and Duel Masters are more streamlined and easy to understand. The life system isn't quite as dramatic as the difference between the resource systems, but it is still a pretty substantial change. Magic uses a life total, while Duel Masters uses cards as life in a shield system. This leads to a few meaningful differences. For one, Magic's life system is more granular. Creatures in Magic can deal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6 damage, all the way up to 10 or even 20 in rare cases. Creatures in a cards as life shield system will generally deal either 1 or 2 damage, and sometimes 3 in rare cases. This allows for a greater range of damage output in Magic, and allows the game to include more incidental damage sources and life costs. Life gain, direct damage, and life costs are all far more limited in a shield system, but the more limited damage potential does help ensure that even low-cost creatures remain relevant into the later stages of the game in Duel Masters. Using cards as shields doesn't require any external accessories to track. To play Magic, you'll need your deck of cards, as well as either a pen and paper, a few dice, or a dedicated app. In Duel Masters, all you need is your deck of cards. This is relatively minor, but as someone who has forgotten their dice more than once while rushing out the door, I do really appreciate the all you need is your deck ideal. Cards as Life also allows for mechanics to more easily integrate with the life system. Shield triggers in Duel Masters, life bursts in Withross, and triggers in Vanguard all add a random catch-up mechanic into the life system. Past that, using cards as life means that those cards can be moved somewhere else after damage is dealt. Duel Masters adds them to your hand when you're damaged, Pokemon adds them to your hand when you've damaged the opponent, and Vanguard and Withross use them as resources. There is just more design space in a cards as life system relative to more simple life points. One point in favor of life points, though, is that they do take up less space on the field of play. If a game already has a lot going on, a more simple life point system can cut back on a bit of the game's visual clutter. Unlike the resource system comparison, I don't think there's really a clear winner here. Both systems have good points, and depending on which direction a game's design is going, there are strong arguments for either side. There's not a ton of difference in how the two games handle their card economy. Players draw.
I think it has. I think Duel Master is very derivative of Magic. I don't care for it that much because I'm not going to have the same resource system, and yeah, I think it's. I mean, if you know Magic, you can take whatever you need from there. I don't think it's really useful for me, to be honest. Although I would really have like playing it as a kid, I guess. Uh, so sad that I never even saw the cards. I literally never seen a Duel Master card, and for what I'm hearing, it was like the gamble of of Magic of the Ghost to do something for kids. Kind of sad, really.
Draw 1 card per turn in both. Magic has a 7-card starting hand, while Duel Masters only has 5, but this is largely balanced by the greater flexibility of each card in Duel Masters. Duel Masters does give players additional cards as their shields are destroyed, and since every card in the deck doubles as a land or spell, you aren't drawing blanks in the late game. In the late game in Magic, additional lands are often useless, which means a good third of your deck or more become blanks when you draw them at this stage in the game, which makes falling behind in card advantage even more painful. Ultimately, Magic does end up with more of a late-game drop-off in card economy, so I do think it was a good move for Duel Masters to give players just a little bit more options into the later stages of the game. And overall, that's the end of part 1 of this comparison. I've split this into 2 parts, partly to appease the algorithm, but also because I think discussions about this comparison are interesting enough to spread over 2 videos so people can go into a bit more depth. So if you do have any thoughts about how these 2 games approach their resources, life system, and card economy, I would love to hear them in the comments below. Take it easy, and I'll see you in the next video.
Okay, I think this is all for today. I'm kind of tired. I don't even know why. I didn't do anything today, but I'm kind of tired. So I'm gonna end the stream now, and we will pick it up from here tomorrow. Goodbye.